Welcome to Many Millions, where we focus on the many reps and the million moments it takes to build a trading career.
Welcome back. I have a trade here that I wanted to go ahead and walk through with you guys and show you how I managed it, kind of how it ended up. This is on Friday, September 26th. We were in kind of a weird market where it's been falling substantially, actually, from all-time highs over this last week, I would say. Really only the last few days, but it has had the momentum to just continue falling. So I felt like I was going a little bit counter trend here, even on a long. But all of my conditions are still being met for a B setup in this scenario. I did not get an A setup, and in fact, I've struggled a lot with A setups this week. They've just been more trending days. Hard to do this strategy if it is a trending day. So as we watch this here, just to see what the market is going to do, you can see that my conditions here on my two stochastics are officially oversold, right? So we've got the slow stochastics 3 and 4 are oversold. The third stochastic's almost in that oversold territory. It's getting there. And then my 9 stochastic obviously is moving a little bit quicker, and that one's in the middle of the range there. This is my take profit account again. So you can see where I'm at on it. I've got a balance now of 51,155. It's just one that I started, I think it's been a little over a week. So here's my indicator is coming into play here. This is a B setup again. And I can see that the on-ramp is not as clean as I would like with this volume. I wish it were a little bit more ramping up this way. I mean, you can see that that's just not the case. So again, stochastics are in that oversold territory, at least on the slow. It looks like it's got enough momentum to carry here a bit. So at this point, I'm getting interested in the trade. I'd still like to wait until this candle closes and make sure that it closes above the 9 EMA, right? That's always something that I wait for. That is my last condition that has to be met. And in fact, I built my indicator around that as well. If you see this tick below the 9 EMA, that trigger would go away for that B setup. But we had a divergence back here a little bit further, maybe 10, 12 bars back. And you can see it kind of in the middle of the range. So this looks like almost a double bottom as it reached this 66.60 level. I think as long as this next candle here, I'm kind of waiting to see what this does. If it drops below the 9 EMA, I'm not interested. If it's going to hold and looks like it's got some momentum to shift, then I'm going to go ahead and buy this. Looks like it has that momentum. It's definitely respecting that 9 EMA. Seems like it's on the other side of it, so I'm going to go ahead and enter here. I've left these the take profit and stop loss at the 20 tick and 60, as you can see. I'm not sure, in fact, I'm almost certain, because it's a B setup, my typical go-to for a B setup is I don't want to let this turn against me. I would maybe hold that till the VWAP. I think it will magnetize to the VWAP there. But a B setup doesn't have all of my conditions. As I said, the on-ramp wasn't quite great. I'm taking my entry in the middle of the 9 stochastic, which isn't my favorite. So it's not a true quad rotation at this entry. And that just makes me, that's fine. I can take those B setups. The way that I manage risk differs, though, on a B setup than an A setup. So I'm not going to let this run very long, and I love the momentum I'm already seeing. Already up $200. How much do you really need? This is when kind of I talk about greed and greed getting in the way. There's no need for that much more. You're on a $50,000 account, sure, but it's not really $50,000. I only have $3,000 of drawdown. So $250, $300 on $3,000 of drawdown, that's great. That's fantastic to me. We're tapping around that 300 range. So if this starts to pull against me at all, I'm just going to go ahead and close it. We still have a little bit of volume moving our direction. I like that. Again, it's just not an A setup. So even though this double bottom looks like it may run, and like I said, maybe just to the VWAP, I don't think I'm going to hold it that long. I'm ready to close this the second it starts turning against me. I'm now in overbought conditions on the 9 and probably on that 14 stochastic. So I don't see enough momentum here to say this is an A setup and I should let it carry through on this 5-minute stochastic, the bottom stochastic. Really close to the VWAP here. Yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and close it. I didn't love that started pulling against me. And again, perfectly content with, I think that ended up about $280 in profit. So that's just fine by me.